I'd like to introduce you to Paul. Paul's 56 years old and actually a tennis partner of mine.
54.
Oh, sorry, Paul, 54. All right. So, Paul, how do you think about HealthSpan?
Well, health span in terms of, my life health and improving it.
Yeah, just in terms of not just living long, but living healthy long.
Yeah. So I think the key for me, and I think for everyone, is get out there and exercise. Try to do exercise every day. Try to do things differently that keep me entertained. Because if it's a chore to do it, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
I think the other aspect is you got to recognize that sometimes you're going to have down times when you're not going to want to do anything, and that's okay to happen. But you got to be able to sit there and go, okay, now let's get out and start again,
Yeah.
and move it again.
You've done this before, haven't you? So, what's your fitness journey been, and how has it evolved? Would you say, given now you're 54?
So fitness wise, I think in my youth I was, fairly active, doing more social sport and social activities. Then I got into kind of my, and then in my 30s, I got into some adventure racing and did some climbing, and so that was great.
Wow.
Hit my 40s, and I really felt like I stopped doing a lot of things. And it was later in my 40s, I turned around and said, you're starting to get a little bit of a belly, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Let's get out there. And now I do it socially. I try to engage. I try to have a lot of different groups of people,
Yeah.
to potentially go out and do exercise with, different types of exercises. And I vary it and try to build in a social aspect to it.
And do you work? That's a good point. Do you work? Finally, just do you work strength training into your regime too?
I do a little bit of strength training in there. To be honest, I didn't do strength training in my youth.
Yeah.
But now I recognize that, doing weights and doing some of that strength training is important to its ongoing
Yeah.
process.
Awesome.
So it is a journey, and that's something that's very, very difficult to get into if you weren't someone that thought about weights and strength training in your youth.
Yeah, for sure. It's true.
And now the other thing that I was always very bad at was stretching and those activities. And I've actually just started really getting into every day a routine of a 20-minute stretch routine.
Wow.
And that's really helped. I find that now I'm not having to go home and ice all the time and that type of thing. My body just seems to be
Awesome.
better on that.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. Good advice for us fellow people trying to expand our health span.